All right, this is where we left off. We created the background, we parented and connected each of the parts to their counterparts. And I just went ahead and made a shape layer out of the upper leg. You just zoom in and show you. So the upper leg looked something like this, and basically when you have sharp edges and when you rotate them, it's going to look bad. So if I were to put this here, hit R on this, you can see that it just looks odd. It has that sharp edge and that will not work out. So all I did was to right click, create shapes from vector layer. Basically this allows me to get the pen tool and maybe alter a few points, make it look nice. And the shape that you want to go for is actually a circular shape. So you get this one over here. So you can see we don't have sharp edges. We have something like this, just like a toy that has connections. This is how it works out. Put that back to its place. And we're going to hit T on both of them. And make sure that the anchor point is in this dark area. I'm going to move this one to the center. There we have it. And then we're going to make the opacity 100%. All right, so that's all you have to do. Once you've done that, we can now begin the animation. Just like any other bike, it will not move unless you move the pedals. So the pedals in our case is connected to the foot, but we do have the foot stand, which I just placed underneath right foot and also added it to the green group. So we're just going to be moving the foot stand and all the other legs are going to move with it. So select all of these, anything in the green layer, which consisted of the upper right leg, lower right leg, right foot, and foot stand. Hit R. We're going to make a keyframe in the beginning. Move in 2 seconds. You can always alter the keyframes. Click away, and we're just going to move with the foot stand now. So the gear of bikes is a circle. It's always a circle. And basically when it's a circle, we want to just move in a quarter at a time. So here, 2, 3, 4. And it just repeats over and over. And then in between those quarters, like in between this and this, we're going to create supporting keyframes. So in total, we're going to need about 8 keyframes, and then we can just loop out the entire thing. All right, and make sure that your gear, the anchor point, is in the right place. If you want, you can single out the layer. You can see the circle here, just click that. And this way you can see things better. Like I need to move mine a bit up here. And after I'm done, I can just click this and I'm back to where I was. Okay, so 2 seconds in, we're going to rotate this guy forward. Backward, because she is moving forward. So we're going to put it over here. And then everything else moves with it. But instead of moving from down to the above, we're going to do the opposite. So it starts from upper right leg. Stay on that 2 seconds. And we're just going to move it up this way. Because when this guy comes higher, the leg needs to go higher too. Let's do that. And then we're going to go to lower right leg. Rotate that like so. We can use the arrow keys to just place it accordingly without turning on the keyframe. And then right foot, we can just make it look the right way, so it would be this way. Let's go in the beginning. So essentially we just have this, bringing the leg up. So for the right foot, I think we need to make it straight. So let's do that. Gonna move it up with the arrow key. So it's down and then it comes up. 4 seconds. Get the gear, the foot stand, not the gear. We're gonna move it up all the way. So like that. And then again, go to upper right leg. We're going to rotate it upwards now. This is the highest point, so it would almost be straight. Let me go up. It would almost be like this. And then lower right leg, we just do that. The foot, make it straight. So it looks like that. And then around 6 seconds, get the foot stand and put it here. Upper right leg. It's going to be a little down compared to where it was. Then put the foot like so. And that was a leg. Put the foot like so. You can also move it higher. You saw it's not sitting nicely. It needs to come a little down. All right. And then at 8 seconds, we can just copy and we're just going to get the first keyframe for each one. So copy that, Control C, Control V. So it retreats back to the first area. Let's have a look at the playback. And if necessary, we can work with the speed at which they appear. All right, so you saw that the gear kind of went the opposite way. Make sure the foot is going in one way at least. All right, so for the last keyframe, we could just do it ourselves. Because it did not start from here, it was kind of in the edge. Just go to that place, put your time indicator on 8, get your foot stand, and we're just going to move it down. Then we're going to go to upper right leg, bring it low, right here, lower right leg, make it somewhat straight. Let's move this again. All right, and then we can just move the foot a little bit like that. So now it's going to go up and essentially it's going to go towards the full circle. And then at 10 seconds, we can copy the keyframes because now they're set in the right path. So you can see now it would make sense for us to just loop it again. So just copy the keyframes for each one. Let me just go here, Control C, Control V. All right, hit N, and then we can have a look at how this loops. Again, don't worry about the speed. We can always just fix that. So watch out for if the gear like pops out like that. We don't want that exactly. So the leg is okay, but the gear is not. So we can simply just go on 10 seconds, delete the gear keyframe and just put it in the right direction, which was here. So you can see it's 1 times 6 degrees because it did a full circle. Okay, so the gear, we can just simply kind of squish it down to avoid the issue where it just comes out. You can see it did it again. Or you could delete one of the keyframes. Let's come over here and just move it up a little higher than it was. And it's all about fixing the keyframes, going over them multiple times to make sure it's working all right. All right. right, looking good. Okay, so if we go on, the leg is just cycling normal, and then it can just start over. Let's have a look at each part up close and make sure that it's working well. The gear came out again. It was around here, I believe. So we know that the gear needs to kind of slow down. All right, it's coming in a little fast. We can move the keyframes if necessary. All right, now it's okay. Okay, so the foot is okay. Let's move on to the knee. Have a closer look. All right, so the right leg might not be doing well. I think we need to just move it towards the right a little bit, like that much. Let's play it back and make sure it's working okay. All right. So we do have to fix the knee. I will just do the whole shape thing that we did with the upper thigh. But as you can see, we created a cycling motion using just rotation and some parenting techniques. All right, so now to make things look more realistic, we need to speed up the keyframes. So come in like this much. So we're gonna grab all the keyframes, work with them one at a time, hold down Alt or Option. Click the last one and we're just squeezing everything in. Let's go for 4 seconds. Hit R on this so we can get the keyframes. Do the same thing. Actually, let's do them all together. Select all keyframes, hold down Alt or Option and just squeeze everything in. Let's hit N on 4 seconds so we can see a looping animation. If it's not fast enough, we can simply just make it even faster. So hold down Alt again. I'm going to go for maybe 2 seconds. Play that back. All right, so the cycling speed still needs to be faster. Maybe we should go for 1 second. All right, so for this background speed, this leg speed is okay. As you can see, it's just cycling. We're going to stop here. I'm just going to go over my keyframes and fix a few things. Also fix the layer that we mentioned, like we did with the upper right leg. I'm going to right click on lower right leg, create shapes from vector path, get the pen tool and make the tip circular, because if I single out this guy, oops, click away, single out this guy, you can see we have a sharp edge and we need to fix that. So I'm going to do that, and then in the next part we're going to continue with the rest of the body. I'll see you guys in the next lesson.